Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. Arizona basketball coach Sean Miller met with the media earlier this week and discussed how he thinks last season went. Here's what he had to say.
How do you think this last season will be remembered?
I think it'll be a piece to a much larger puzzle. There are some things that I am very proud of. I use the word resiliency quite a bit, and I think you guys know because you followed us from start to finish. This team was hit with a number of things that set us off course or potentially could have been the end of us not being a part of the tournament or winning the games that we won. But at the end, we were there, and we finished, whether it's the first round or in and around there, where I thought, almost our ceiling became. When we lost the depth of the combination of Ray Smith and Elliot Pitts, and keeping in mind we almost played half of the Pac-12 season without Alonzo, and you almost forget that Caleb really wasn't a part of the non-conference season. And even though we won a lot of those games, the development of our team wasn't where it could have been if he was with us from start to finish. So that and, playing in a very competitive Pac-12 where you had 7 of the 12 in the NCAA tournament and being 12-6. And I think you guys know, losing the way we lost in a number of them, some people have said, boy, you guys, you have to be frustrated. But I almost look at it as a positive that to every game, we were right there. And we were much closer to being a 14-4 or a better team than we would have been the other way based on the closeness of the games we lost. And again, I think that bodes well to the fight of our team. Well, obviously, you watch Oregon, and they were right there on the brink of a Final Four like we've been the last 2 years. I mean, they've represented our league as a 1 seed in a really great way. I was disappointed. I wanted them to be in the Final Four. But the seeds that we received, 7 bids, was awesome. I think it's one of the great years that our conference has ever had. I believe we're more cooperative as a conference right now than ever before among coaches. Our non-conference scheduling philosophy and model is rock solid. Those are things that we talk a lot about at the spring meetings. It's sometimes, you talk about them, but there's no follow-through. There has been a lot of follow-through. We're smarter than ever about how we go about that process. And I credit, the Pac-12 and its leadership that's really spiraled that in a good way. Very disappointed that we weren't able to have more teams advance, and you can say us. I will tell you this. I've studied what happened in our game. I've watched us play. They didn't watch the game. I certainly watched it many times. We had a really tough matchup. They were an 11 seed. In my opinion, there wasn't a big difference between them and Oregon. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, you're out of your mind." I'm not. That's just how I feel. We had 2 senior guards. I watched them and got sick to my stomach. That think about this: won 31 games in a row. That played in a Final Four already, and they're at the end of their senior year. They were the nation's #1 defensive team. And a number of their tough losses happened when Fred VanVleet didn't play, and that happened in November. But if you really watched their style and watched how well coached and tough-minded they were, I think Wichita State could have beaten a lot of teams. We happened to be the team who drew them. And drawing them in Providence, Rhode Island, if you live in Tucson, that's not to your advantage either. But I'm not complaining as much as you get in the tournament. Once in a while, you get the very favorable draw and seed, and things happen, and you never talk about that. But when it doesn't work out, you tend to bring it up more. But Wichita State was, in my opinion, one of the top 3 or 4 teams that we played all season, and we lost to a team that was better than us. And that's hard to admit sometimes. Did we play well? No. But it was because of the other team, and we'll learn from it. I think you talk about Kadeem, that last impression of his junior year will be a lot of fuel for him to be better when this next year begins.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.